There's a lot of hype games out right now. I actually feel sorrow for the people that have to make decisions based around the Game of the Year conversation that's heating up.
Lucky for me, I get to just actually play and enjoy games, and then I can just talk about them here.
I always lean more towards the discovery angle on the channel as opposed to playing bigger games, and maybe that's a gift and a curse, but it's what's enjoyable for me. Another thing I've learned about myself is that if a game's highly anticipated and it delivers, it's a cool moment for me. But discovering a game that slaps out of nowhere that my friends and I can enjoy together, yeah, I'll take that 10 times over the hype. These surprise indie games that over-deliver out of nowhere are the golden standards for me, the gems that I enjoy championing. I don't know the history of Prophecy games, or what made them decide to jump into the first-person shooter genre, but I can't say enough how happy I am that they did. Deadzone Rogue was not on my radar at all. I saw a streamer playing it for maybe 5-6 minutes. I think it was Mr. Fruit. Not sure, but immediately I went to Steam. I just got paid and the price point was only $25, so even if it didn't work out, at least I had some content to show off to the channel. What I didn't expect was to sink 20 hours into the game within like the first 4 days, out of nowhere.
Turns out, when you make a good game, it makes the game good. Who knew?
Deadzone Rogue is an FPS roguelike that has you mysteriously placed on a ship with a pistol and a plant. Planty doesn't speak, sadly, so it's up to you to figure out what's going on and why everything in the ship is mutated and or trying to kill you. The story isn't the shining diamond here, but it is surprisingly solid as each act you complete introduces a little wrinkle in the brain for you to decipher.
I ain't no spoilers, but if you played the game and you know what happens at the end of Act 1 and Act 2, you gotta give me my props for that. Just saying. Just saying.
The plot twists are solid enough to actually make you wonder what's happening in the game, and the drop-off point at the end of all 3 acts leaves room for a flexible but interesting continuation to the story whenever it continues, which is, spoiler alert, sooner than later. Your main character doesn't talk all the time, but he does a great job of voicing the inner dialogue that you may have when experiencing things for the first time. There's moments where the game leans sci-fi and some where it leans a bit into the space horror element, but no matter what side of the spectrum the current room is in, the one thing that never fails is the gameplay. And the gunplay here is the best I've felt in years, maybe since Destiny 2.
Yeah, Destiny 2 reference. Oh my god, I can't escape it.
And this is including new games like Borderlands 4,
which has some serious issues for me.
There's something immediately refreshing about the run and shoot mechanics here that just clicks. Combine that with the movement tech that's present here, so like a double dash and jump that you can literally mix and match however you want to in almost any direction, and I do mean any direction. And you have a unique package that's worth playing just based on that alone. But thankfully, there's much more to mention. There's a wide selection of guns available at the start, but there's more to unlock as you play through each act. More on that later. The guns also drop with perks and special roles such as elements like electricity, fire, and ice. Those elements can proc status effects that you can synergize and stack with, making each run different and making your character ridiculously fun by the end of it. Having an SMG that chains lightning to all of the enemies nearby, or having a hand cannon that can spread a fire combustion debuff to the surrounding areas, or even two-tapping an elite with a lightning strike, or freezing a monster with a melee that triggers void tendrils that seek out other enemies in the area, is fun.
I don't have a smarter way to say it. Like, I mean, I'm sure I could think up a more professional way to say how crazy this game is. But the statement, this shit fun as hell, just seems to encapsulate what I want to express so well, so I'm gonna just roll with that.
There's perks that can also take things to another level too. Some perks can help your weapons proc multiple elements at once, based on what's in your primary, your secondary, or your melee slot. Some perks give you wall hacks. Some literally jump your reload speeds to obscene crackhead-like levels. This section could be much bigger if I shared all the things you can do, but the best compliment I can say concerning those possibilities is that I haven't seen a shooter mix elements this crazy and effective and fun since the early Borderlands series. I mentioned the game has 3 acts, but those are just the story arcs, because each zone has multiple missions that present game modifiers, such as a run being all shotguns, or all of the enemies being the same type per room, or everyone having their critical hit damage skyrocketed to make it much more dangerous. There's even a wave-based survival mode that's kinda nuts. The challenge level is here as well though, and each time you clear a stage you can replay it on a harder difficulty for high rewards, such as currency to upgrade your character, prettier camo skins for your guns, because yes, there's a camo grind, and in some cases, new weapons and exotics altogether. Yeah, there's exotic weapons too.
I mentioned the game was co-op. I feel like I should mention that. This game's co-op.
So you and a fire team of 2 other friends can jump in and smash through waves of creatures and robots together, and the progression system saves independently, so you make progress in their game and vice versa. Even the soundtrack isn't bad. It gives me light Risk of Rain guitar vibes, but it's not something that overpowers the game. It fits the moments that the game provides. I don't have a lot of negative things to say about Deadzone Rogue, outside of maybe the cosmetics being lacking. The system to unlock them is fun and rewarding to a degree, but most of the cameos I don't really see myself going for, outside of the legendary ones that seem to have more care put into them than the others. But that's par for the course, I guess. But even the extra costume you get by purchase of the deluxe isn't that impressive. For everything that the cosmetics whiff on though, the rest of the game knocks out of the park. The gameplay is razor sharp, the main character is hilarious to me, and the story is solid enough to keep you interested, at least to this point so far. The game does end with a huge cliffhanger, but like I said, it's a good one that adds some flexibility to the game structure, and I'm curious to see what they do with it. Deadzone Rogue is one of the best surprises I've played this year. It's directly sliced into my Silksong time and made Borderlands 4 seem not as shiny as it should have been. Great games remind you that you don't have to settle for less, and if Prophecy Games is cranking out quality like this, then I'm excited to watch what happens when they begin adding content updates to this thing.
Which, spoiler alert, is happening sooner than later. I'm locked in.
Hey, y'all been waiting for the drop. Hey, ain't the whole picture, so don't focus on the crop. Hey, unless you talking harvest, then you can let it rock. Hey, Ric Flair slaps, you can hear it when it pops. Woo. Sweet chin music, and I won't pass it.